Welcome back to the Midlife Hour. It's Bob Arkadian. Or should I call it the Melancholy Hour, because my co-host, DP Grizzly's team, the Denver Nuggets, got their asses... Well, they didn't get their asses kicked. Tell us what happened.
All I got to say is if I'm down bad because of the Nuggets, where does that leave the Cavs?
I mean, we'll find out tonight, huh? They played great last game. Let's give them that. They came back.
They were down 0-2.
And we all know 0-3, they're not going to come back from that. I think historically no one ever has.
That's what I thought what was going to happen tonight with the Nuggets. Even though they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn tonight, neither could OKC. Game ultimately comes down to the wire, and down the stretch in the last 2 minutes, Jokic misses 2 free throws. Gordon misses a free throw. MPJ misses an easy jump shot under the hoop. He should have just laid it up. And then Nuggets win 91-87.
I still don't understand the Russell Westbrook hate, but I
love Westbrook.
I do see what they're talking about with that wide open corner three.
Oh, dude, he missed like 5 of those tonight. He missed like 5 of them.
But I mean, he's missed it his whole career, right? So that's my one take. So not being a Denver fan, me personally, if I was getting paid however much he got paid throughout his entire career, and it's definitely in the high millions, I feel like I would have a corner 3 by now.
I mean, he's been hitting them. Last game, he was hitting them pretty reliably. This game, he never found his groove. What kills me the most, and trust me, I'm not a Westbrook hater. I actually love Westbrook, and I think he's done wonders for this team. Is sometimes he gets like a little too jittery and he doesn't make the smart play. Like he's pulling up on a shot he shouldn't, or he's not kicking it out when he should. What really bothers me, what I noticed, is he has a tendency to drive in the paint and then pass it to somebody else who's also in traffic in the paint, instead of kicking it out to the perimeter. It's almost like he's like, no, we have to push the ball forward, like it's rugby, right? Like he only cares about getting the ball forward. It's like, well, it's crowded here, man. Kick it out.
How much do you put on this, like I've been saying throughout the past few weeks, on the Nuggets firing Mike Malone?
I actually think it was a good call. I think they proved that it was the right call.
But apparently, through sources around the NBA, they said the reason he got fired was for pushing more minutes for Russell Westbrook over the younger players later in games. And who are you seeing later in games right now? Westbrook. So it's like, why the fuck did they fire?
Hey, the Nuggets really only play 7 players. They really only play 7 players.
Man. They can only afford to right now. Because other than Bron, Gordon, these are all Bron's, they're 6th man, right?
Yeah, he's a starting small.
Is he a starter now? Okay, so then that's their starters. Yeah, so then they really don't have anybody else. That sucks. That's why is Westbrook starting for them?
No. He's coming off the bench. Him and Watson.
That's the only spark plug that they have. They need to do something next season.
Well, that's why the GM was fired, right? Because he's not bringing in talent. Jokic had to lobby just to bring Westbrook in. He's like, what are we doing, guys? Like, we let all of our 3-point shooters walk from our championship season. You saw what happened last year when we went up against the Timberwolves and their fucking garden double and triple teaming Jokic. They have to have somebody on the perimeter. And that's what's hurting them in this KC series, is like once they eliminate Murray and eliminate Jokic, then you got to hope Gordon is on. If not, actually, Christian Braun played great tonight. Christian Braun played great.
He's a hustle player, even if his shot's not falling. I mean, you saw that.
He had like 17 points. He had like 17.
That's a great role player. That's what I'm saying. He's a great role player. He's not a superstar, but he's a great hustle player. That he could play the passing lanes very well. You saw him play that late steal in the 4th. I don't think they converted, but he got the steal.
What I think his utility comes from is his defense, because Shea hasn't looked like Shea in the regular season in this series.
No, but he does. He's still Shea enough to get them some dubs, if that makes sense.
Not last game. In this game, if we're being honest, like neither team looked fantastic. This is a low scoring game. I think there was a stat for tied for the fewest points scored in the first quarter combined.
It looked like they were letting them play a little bit, though. That's why it was pretty physical, especially in the 4th.
I think both teams are just tired. This series has been a war, you know, because OKC has a lot of taller players, so they've been playing a lot of their bigs to combat Jokic, who's been being doubled and triple teamed. He can't do shit. So I think both teams are just tired, and that's why the shots are falling short. Both teams. Earlier, halfway through the 3rd quarter, like OKC was like 8 for 36 or something like that. Some ridiculous stat.
That's because the evolution of the game sucks with the threes, though. It's not a high percentage shot. It's an enticing, casual fan viewing, lovely shot. But when I was playing, if I shot 6 of those in a game, I'd be benched.
Yeah, and that's what kept the Nuggets in the game, is how often OKC relies on a three. But then towards the latter half of the game, some of those threes started falling, and they still weren't falling for Denver. This one bugs me because they had a chance to really bury OKC. And now they got to go back to fucking OKC and still a win there.
Okay, so who wins the series?
Nuggets in 7.
I'll agree with that. I don't have a horse in that race. You know, I'm a Cavs fan. So let's talk about the Cavs shit then.
If they would have won tonight, I would have said Nuggets in 5.
Cavs are down 2-1. They play in an hour and a half. By the time we post this, by the way, the game will already be over. So let's just do predictions real quick. I'm going with the Cavs win. It won't be a blowout tonight, though. It'll be like maybe a 10-point win. 10 points.
This one is in Indy as well, right?
This one should be,
it's in Indy
as well.
I think the Pacers take this one.
So I'll tell you why they don't, and you tell me why they do. Yeah.
Okay.
The bigs of Cleveland. I mean, they got game 2 on us, but Jared Allen was out. Evan Mobley was out. Darius Garland isn't a big, but he's an astonishing point guard in the NBA. They were all out, and we lost by a buzzer beater. Granted, it was at home, but then we went into Indiana and whooped that candy ass all over their home court. So I got to think with our bigs back and the defensive player of the year, Evan Mobley. You know, I remember a guy that I used to play in high school ball with. I think his name was Julian Cordova. And he used to really appreciate the value of fucking defense. And he was a big guy like Evan Mobley too. So if you're watching, Julian, I see you, bro. So I think their bigs are going to dominate. Anna's a little bit too small. They got Miles Turner, and that's really about it. Rebounds wins games. Whatever team historically has the most rebounds in a game wins, and that's Cleveland.
I agree with that. As far as the rebounds. But here's the thing, the difference maker here is we saw what happened last game where Donovan Mitchell literally had to take over and be Superman. Yes, they won very handedly, like very decisive win, but he was Superman out there on that court, right? And Indy was at home. So you have another home game for Indy. They have the most potent offense, ranking 2nd, I think, this year. And there are some injury concerns that might catch up with Cleveland.
Let me ask you a question, because as a Cleveland fan, Evan Mitchell's our Jokic. I expect him to go 100%. In there. Him being our Jokic, I expect him to go in there and drop 28 to 34. Maybe not above 50 shooting night, but around 45 to 50 for sure. I think he had 40 points the last game. If not, it was like 38. Dude's a fucking bona fide superstar now. From his days in Utah, from struggling, playing in front of all the Mormons out there, and now he's playing in his community in Ohio. Dude's a bona fide super stud. That's it.
I hear you, but I've watched Jokic drop 30, 40 points and still lose. You know what I mean?
He's the best player in the world. They're not comparable, but for their team's significance and for that argument's sake, it's comparable. Jokic is the best player in the world.
But comparable as me saying, like, I've watched Jokic put up those points and still lose.
Yeah, what's going to happen, right? You're going to have a 60. I mean, I watched Jordan. Well, I didn't watch it. I watched a replay, a highlight of it. But he dropped 69 in Boston in the Garden and he lost. It's like, he had a good night, but what was the point?
Didn't Kobe drop 80 and lose to Toronto?
Fuck no. Kobe dropped 81 and whooped that ass all night. I watched that game live. I called my dad at halftime.
Was it his last game where he put up 60 in a loss?
And he won that game too. It was a 60. I think he was 36. That's impressive, man.
Ask LeBron. I guess what LeBron he's 40 now, right?
Yeah. No, I thought you were talking about how LeBron's always like, I remember that. And I was there. I told him, you might as well just go for 81. That motherfucker would have been like 18 at that time. Like, Kobe ain't fucking with you, dog. Fucking LeBron.
This game is going to come down to Siakam and Halliburton.
For Indiana, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Siakam is severely underrated.
I agree.
As a basketball player.
Super underrated.
He could do everything on the court. I mean,
however, if Cleveland comes out hard and fast and gets up on them, then that's how I see Cleveland coming out with a dub and stealing game 4.
And that's usually like the only way niggas in Ohio know how to do things, coming out hard and fast.
What happened at home in games 1 and 2?
They got caught sleeping at the wheel because they got an easy first-round matchup in Miami and just swept the house with them. And they were supposed to. But I think you get a little overconfident. And then Indiana is a good team. That's been a team together for a while. They've been in the playoffs for a while now. So you can't really sleep on that. Halliburton is a superstar, too. That guy can shoot from anywhere on the court. He can get to anywhere on the court. He has a weird herky-jerky movement in his ball handle where he can get straight to the basket on just like a weird dribble alone. Not even like the dribble, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? It's his body movement. He's just weird. And then he can just lay it up. He's so lanky. And then who's their other star they have on that team? Miles Turner. He used to not be shit. I remember him as a rookie up until 5 seasons in the league. He had no outside shot. He was a hustle player, could only get rebounds and dive on the floor. Now you have to worry about him from anywhere on the floor for a catch and shoot three. He's Al Horford now.
I wish the Nuggets had some good catch and shoot 3 players right now. Where's Julian Cordova when you need him?
You're not happy with Porter's performance?
Last game, Porter was on, even with the injured shoulder. Like, he was on fire. And then you could tell tonight he took that early 3 and that shit missed. I think it was an air ball. I was like, oh, he got
the J.R. Smith of the Denver Nuggets. Because he's streaky.
Hot and he's cold.
Yes, and you know. But you got to have him. Those players are so important. But I would rather have J.R. Smith. I'm sorry. I would.
Hey, other than last night, so would I. Not last night, 2 nights ago, Friday night. Yeah, this was a heartbreaker, man. I really thought they were going to come out and win this one, even though they're playing like crap the entire game. By the end of the game, when they finally went up like 6 and then 9, and then OKC just had that 11-point run, mostly off free throws, mostly off some very questionable calls. I still don't think the games are being called in Jokic's favor. Like, he's getting hacked constantly. There was one where the commentators blatantly called, it was on a Harkenstein. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Harkenstein, yeah.
He straight up like elbowed him in the chest on a shot, and they didn't call it. It's like, are you kidding me, man? Like, what's going on here?
No, you hate LeBron James. I know this, right? Whatever. But
no, I know where you're going with this, and I can agree.
So people like him, Shaquille O'Neal, shit, even Kobe, like, they get so strong with their upper body and they get so good around the rim that people used to wrap Shaq's arms from here, and you would see him lift them up off the ground and still try and get to the basket. Like, and then even like LeBron, they fucking smack the fuck out of LeBron, and he still takes the contact and then lays it up. And he complains a lot now. But to be fair, I think when he was younger, he didn't complain that much. His first stint in Cleveland, he just took the contact. So now he's going to complain because he's old. That shit probably hurts, dog. Have you seen the scars they have from the scratches from the dudes trying to get rebounds?
Absolutely.
Those little
I see it on Jokic's arms every night. But what I don't like is they'll call it like that for those players, but then SGA gets like the slightest contact. Like, there was a couple questionable ones today where Christian Brown was just like standing with his hands raised. He didn't even fucking move.
Yeah.
And they called him. I was like, what? Where's the goddamn?
You also gotta look out for the new superstars too. And SGA is now a superstar.
There was another one where Gordon swiped at the ball. He didn't make contact with any of them. He swiped at the ball and missed the ball, and they called a foul. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
And
what is going on?
If he would have won the slam dunk contest last year, they wouldn't have called that. But it's been about 8 years.
Hey, don't be hating on Eric Gordon. That's a NBA champion right there.
Hey, and a big piece of it. I can't knock him. I don't think he's the best player, but he was a great piece for that Denver Nuggets team.
He's a good number 3. He's a good number 3.
I just don't know why he couldn't be a good number 1 or 2 in Orlando. He had no one to sit back to in Orlando. What happened?
Not everybody's built to be a number 1.
He tore his ACL, remember? That's what happened. And then I think
he demanded to be out of Orlando.
Yeah. And it takes a few years to get when you're as explosive as a guy like him, I bet it takes a few years to really trust yourself to do that again. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's going back to OKC. I still have hope. Here's what I can tell the difference. OKC, they had the best defense all year. That shows. They have incredible defense, incredible hustle. They're very fast, and they're on you. They stick like glue, and they're very good at switching on for help.
Young.
And getting back to the basket. That's what was kind of pissing me off a little bit about this Nuggets team is they're just not built to cut to the basket as fluidly as OKC is, and that's what they really need, right? Because they don't have a bunch of perimeter shooters, and then when they're double and triple teaming Jokic, we need somebody else that can quickly cut and just make a basket, but that no one can blow by. And Murray, once again, getting a little too Kyrie Irving with the ball, doing a little too much dribbling. He had a couple turnovers tonight, just getting a little too happy.
He's going to do that because he's got that ring now. And he was even doing that shit before. I personally think his game fell off a little bit, dog.
I think so too. I
don't know if it was the ego or he needs to stop listening to Drake so goddamn much, but something happened to him. Champions don't listen to Drake, man. They don't. That's like you're niggas that listen to Drake by themselves want to listen to Drake with other dudes, not their girl, right? That's weird. But like Drake, like they're in the car, like I wonder where my homies are at. They're not like that's some sad shit. That's not good, man. Jamal. But hey, I won't knock him. The motherfucker is a stud. He's having an off year.
He's streaky. He's streaky. I haven't seen playoff Jamal yet. All right. So Timberwolves, I watched the game last night, and the Warriors, man, I thought they were going to be able to pull it off, but without Steph, they just need one more shooter. One more shooter with
They don't
Steph.
need one more shooter. They don't need one more shooter. You know what they need? They need Draymond Green to take Jimmy Butler into the locker room and say, "Nigga, we need 35 a night until Steph Curry gets back." And that's all they need to do, because Jimmy Butler could do that. I sincerely believe that he can
Butler
still do
was
that.
balling. Butler was balling last night.
Did he drop 35?
I don't remember how much he scored.
We need
last
35 with Steph Curry out. That's not bullshit. Like, he needs that number.
Let's go to the game stats.
But he did. It was him and Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's been balling for Golden State.
Butler
He might
had
have
33. I thought he was balling last night.
That's close.
He had
That's close.
He had 33 points. Everybody
Very
else
close.
looked garbage though. Draymond had 2 points last night, but like I said, he was in foul trouble.
Yeah, and we're not trying to see him get 20 anyway. He's not capable of it. He's out there to be the enforcer and disrupt the offense, the rhythm.
You lose your star player, you're gonna take a step back.
I bet they wish they had Clay right now.
Yeah, I bet they do.
I bet Denver wishes they had Clay right now.
Yeah.
Imagine him over
Clay.
Porter.
Oh, I was just thinking the same thing over MPJ.
Because I think Clay's 3-point shooting went up to the 40s again this year, didn't it? He's coming back from the injuries.
When is Denver gonna start being like every other team and start padding with superstars?
They won't. It's not the right state for that. You're not going to be able to get enough celebrity superstars out there. They want to be in New York, LA, or maybe even in Miami, Chicago, or San Diego, but they don't have that for NBA. Never mind. Do they have a Vegas team in the NBA? No.
No. All right. So let's finish up the bracket. Who do you think is going to win that series? Timberwolves and Warriors.
Timberwolves, easy.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think Timberwolves are going to take it.
You talk about people balling.
That's the last thing I want to see is the Timberwolves again in the fucking postseason after last year.
Not with Julius Randle playing the way he is right now. Not with. I didn't mention Anthony Edwards, their best player, but last game, Julius Randle was their best player.
Yeah, he was on one. All right, Knicks, Celtics.
I'm going to take the Knicks on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Knicks too. All right, so you taking the Knicks because you think they're win, or you think that's a better matchup for the Cavs?
I'm going to take the Knicks based on Jalen Brunson, dude. That dude is my size. He's 6 foot out there just doing his wizardry. I can't even say it. Wizardry. Wizardry. There we go. And he's a fucking magician. Like I don't know how he does. And he's 90s basketball. He does not play modern basketball. He's out there, bop, bop, fade away, bop, 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 pull up 3, take it to the bucket. That's how I used to play. That's how I was taught to play. And I love watching that type of basketball when it's not just sets. You know what I'm saying?
You asked the question, you get to go first.
So mine isn't a superhero. He's a hero. And his name is Batman. Would you like to know why?
I do tell.
You can fucking kill him. You can shoot him with a gun.
That's why you like him?
Yeah, I like him because he's like us. He's a dude that straps up next to people who can literally get shot by a bullet and have it bounce off. And he's like, fuck it. We have to go take care of some shit. Let's ride. I like the fact that he has 7 different outcomes for every scenario. He's a thorough thinker, right? He doesn't just go in there smashing doors down. If he has a scenario for breaking his leg, he has a scenario for breaking his arm, he has a scenario for breaking his fucking back. He has a scenario for every possibility. I love it. He's a technician. He's a regular dude. He might be a playboy in the old school ones, but I like him for his introvertness. I like him for him not wanting the fucking spotlight.
Wolf.
He's a lone wolf. That's been my guy since Michael Keaton's Batman Returns in '92.
So I went through a bunch of thoughts on this, and I ended up getting more time to think about it than we originally planned, just circumstances we couldn't avoid. Growing up, my favorite hero was Batman. It was Batman. I love Batman. Always loved Batman. Watched all the movies as a kid. Batman costume, wearing a cape. I just loved Batman. And then when I got into like 10, 12, 13, maybe more like 9, 10 age, my favorite superhero was Nightcrawler from X-Men. I just thought his powers were amazing to be able to teleport different places. He was like a ninja. Plus I had the X-Men game on Super Nintendo. So I used to always be Nightcrawler, and I always loved Nightcrawler.
I used to always be Nightcrawler on that shit too. I can still remember what he looks like in that shit. That's crazy. Go ahead. Sorry, I won't interrupt.
But me now, with all the knowledge and experience of my life, or halfway point of my life, my favorite superhero is Doctor Strange.
Okay. Do tell.
Doctor Strange, he's a S tier hero, right? So he's not just some guy with some flashy ninja skills or flashy weapons, but he's known for using his mind, right? The mind is his most powerful weapon. And with that, he's played such a pivotal role in the MCU for piecing things together. And it takes a lot of personal sacrifice in his own personal life, being this pivotal person that's holding together the threads of the multiverse.
I think it's interesting that both of our choices are from different comics, but have similar sacrifices that they make for their universe, although they're different, if that makes sense. And I could see Doctor Strange. I'll add one more note. I knew about the
saying
Nightcrawler.
Doctor Strange is fucking up Batman in a fight. He's fucking
it's
up
not
Batman
fair.
in a fight.
It wouldn't be fair. But Batman might be able to come up with some weird technology that can like limit his powers by teaming up with the Martian and whoever else. He is Batman, dude. Let's not forget he fucked up Superman. Let's not forget. And which Batman are we talking? Are we talking Lucius Fox? Because that's Black Batman. Doctor Strange ain't fucking him up.
Listen, congratulations, Batman beat up one alien that wears tight spandex and his underwear on the outside. Doctor Strange has beat up a fucking armada of aliens.
And what happened to him?
Hey, he saved the day. He got to look at all possible futures and find the one future or pathway that they win.
That was my favorite MCU movie so far, was that Doctor Strange Into the Madness, or what was it called?
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. That was beautifully done. And I think it was because, what was it, the Raimi brothers or Sam Raimi did it?
Mm-hmm.
Evil Dead,
Yes.
baby. Of course I was going to love that. I didn't expect that, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
But I did. I swear I knew about Nightcrawler. Something clicked when you said it. I remembered it all of a sudden.
That's what I hate about all the movies. I feel like none of the movies have nailed Nightcrawler yet. Hopefully now that X-Men are back with the MCU, that they can redo it and fix it. But they make Nightcrawler kind of a bitch in the Fox movies.
He doesn't have enough time. I didn't watch, to be fair, though. I don't know if he's in the new ones. I haven't seen any of the new ones from like 2010 on, other than Logan. That's it.
Well, we know it's been a while since we came and talked to you guys. We're on a little hiatus. You know, family things get in the way sometimes, but that's why it's the midlife hour. And we found an hour after 2 weeks. Be prepared for some additional content coming down the way. We know. Sleep Token has dropped even in Arcadia. Just right off rip. It's amazing, but we can talk in detail on a later time. You got anything else, Bob?
Yeah, when did that come out? What date did that drop?
Friday, May 9th.
That's
at
brand
midnight.
fucking new. Brand spanking new.
Midnight.
Okay, I'll check that out. I like Sleep Token. I think you know that by now.
Thanks for joining us. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, be with us. Tell us who your favorite superhero is. Tell us why we're wrong and we're idiots. You know, there's a bunch of you. You know what I thought you were going to pick, Bob? I thought you were going to pick Star-Lord.
Fucking, I maybe would have, but I hate Chris Pratt. And that's a strong word. I won't say hate, but I just don't like Chris Pratt. He's the same character in every fucking movie. Jurassic Park, Star-Lord. Fucking Parks and Rec, Star-Lord. Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord. What else are you gonna act anything different in? I miss him when he was chubby.
I think the same thing about Ryan Reynolds, though.
Yeah, but at least he has that charming wit about him. Chris Pratt has that I left Anna Faris for Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. Go fuck yourself, dude. You know what I'm saying?
On that note, thanks for joining us. Deuces.
Hey.
Awesome.